Ito Takehiko said with a bit of reprimand in his voice. Budo was originally meant to be a hobby for you to practice. I didn't want you to devote all your time and energy to it. Knowing that you are the eldest lady of the Ito family after all, the eldest lady must look like a eldest lady, and fight with others in the ring every day. What's the point? Nanako firmly said, Father, martial arts is the home of my lifelong pursuit. If necessary, I am willing to give up love and marriage for martial arts. Naughty. Ito Takehiko suddenly furious. You are my daughter, with the blood of the Ito family flowing through you. How can you give up the inheritance of blood for the sake of the martial arts? Are you worthy of the ancestors of the Ito family? Nanako was speechless. When she heard her father's words, she did feel a little guilty in her heart, so she hurriedly said, My father, I know that I was wrong. I am not really not thinking about marriage, but at this stage one don't want to think about it too early. Please my father. Understand. Ito Takehiko said coldly, I can't understand, it's impossible to understand, but I don't want to tell you more about life on the phone. When you come back from the game, we father and daughter can help our knees grow and talk. But now, Jiro has come to visit you. As the eldest lady of the Ito family, you represent the face and image of the Ito family. How can you avoid it? If it spreads out, outsiders will definitely say that the Ito family doesn't understand etiquette. When Nanako heard this, she had no choice but to say, It was my contemplate, and I asked my father to forgive me. I will change clothes and go to see Jiro. Seeing Nanako's promise, Ito Takehiko's voice eased a little. He asked, Nanako, have you had lunch? She replied truthfully, Return to my father, I was training when I came back from the gym, and I haven't had lunch yet. Ito Takehiko hummed, and said, It's so good. I think it's noon now. You simply take Jiro to have lunch with you, which can be regarded as a way of hospitality for your father. Take him for lunch? Nanako was somewhat reluctant. She herself is a girl with a relatively cold personality, and when her family was teaching her feminine etiquette, she kept a sufficient distance from outside men. In addition, she had been obsessed with martial arts for many years, so she had nothing to do with men and the contact. Except for her family, she grew up so old that she had never eaten privately with a young man. Even her assistant Koichi Tanaka never had a chance to eat with her. However, she could also hear the toughness of her father's tone, knowing that it might be useless to oppose him, so she said, Okay, father, Nanako understands. Ito Takehiko said with satisfaction. Nanako, the family has a very important cooperation with Kobayashi Pharmaceutical now in progress, so you must not neglect the other party, understand? Nanako hurriedly said, I see, my father. After hanging up the phone, Nanako sighed helplessly. She called Hiroshi Tanaka and said to him, Tanaka, please help me entertain Mr. Kobayashi first. I was sweating during my practice and I need to take a shower. Hiroshi Tanaka hurriedly agreed, then turned to Jiro and said, Mr. Kobayashi, please wait a moment. Our eldest lady needs a shower. She will arrive soon. When Jiro heard that Nanako would like to see him, he was deeply excited, but on the surface he said calmly, Okay Mr. Tanaka, I am waiting for Miss Ito here. 10 minutes later, Nanako, who took the shower, changed into a simple and plain Japanese home clothes. At this time, she can no longer see the traces of years of martial arts practice. She is completely a gentle traditional Japanese woman. Tanaka took Jiro to Nanako's presidential suite. When Jiro saw Nanako, he was shocked. He couldn't help but marvel in his heart, my God. Why is this woman so beautiful? So pure? Her eyes are clear and lustrous, like a work of art carefully carved from the sky. The face like a goose egg is white and flawless, the exquisite nose is like a treasure of the world, and the thin lips like cherry blossoms are delicate and fascinating. In the eyes of Jiro, she is like the crystal-clear water of Tianchi on the top of a snow-capped mountain, dignified, quiet, gentle, and a little cold. Only on this side, Jiro fell in love with this woman deeply, and secretly vowed in his heart, I must marry her as my wife anyway. Even if it is to let me join the Ito family, I will not hesitate. Because besides her, there is no such perfect woman in this world. Jiro desperately suppressed his deep desire for Nanako, but Nanako still found a touch of desire that could not be suppressed in his eyes. This made her feel a little disgusted in her heart, feeling that Jiro's eyes were like a drop of meaty lard dripping into a cup of fine tea. However, she was not good at expressing her disgust, so she could only say very politely, "Mr. Kobayashi, sorry, I just made you wait a long time." Jiro hurriedly waved his hand and said, "No, no, no, Miss Ito don't need to be so polite. You took the liberty to come to the door. Actually, I was abrupt. Please don't mind Miss Ito."